Coming up next on KPBS Evening Edition, current and former school officials from the South Bay go to court to answer corruption charges.
And a general from Camp Pendleton will lead the investigation into a video that outraged leaders in Afghanistan. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Ferrian.
And I'm Dwayne Brown. Not guilty pleas were entered today in the largest public corruption case San Diego County has ever seen. 4 current and former Sweetwater Union High School officials are accused of taking bribes in exchange for construction contracts. A contractor is also charged with giving expensive gifts to those officials to win those contracts. The gifts included dinners, airline tickets, even sponsorships for beauty pageants.
A 3-star general from Camp Pendleton will lead the investigation into an internet video that outraged the Afghan government. That video appears to show 4 U.S. Marines urinating on dead bodies in Afghanistan. Those Marines were assigned to Camp Lejeune. A senior commander in Afghanistan says desecrating the dead is a breach of the laws of armed conflict. Lieutenant General Thomas Waldhauser has been appointed to lead the Marine Corps investigation. This is in addition to the work already being done by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service.
General Waldhauser is also the convening authority in the court-martial of Staff Sergeant Frank Ruderich. Today, the court heard from one of his squad mates. He said if he had to do it again, he would have called in an airstrike to destroy an Iraqi home. That's where the group gunned down 6 people. The 2005 attack in Haditha killed 24 Iraqis, including women and children. Sergeant Ruderich led a squad into 2 homes after a roadside bombing. He is the final defendant in the case and faces 9 counts of manslaughter.
The city of San Diego got some good budget news today. Officials were expecting to face a $32 million deficit next year, but that number has dropped to $12 million. That's because the city's contribution to its pension system will be about $25 million less than expected. We'll have more analysis on what this means for the city later on the roundtable. And some California lawmakers are trying to extend the life of redevelopment agencies. Senator Alex Padilla, a Los Angeles Democrat, says he wants to extend the February 1st deadline for closing some 400 redevelopment agencies throughout the state, including several here in San Diego. Padilla introduced a bill that would extend the deadline to April 15, giving the state time to figure out how to continue economic development projects.
This week, Comic-Con, San Diego's largest annual convention, initiated a new system. It requires potential attendees to register now to buy tickets later. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando joins us from the News Center to explain the reasons behind the change. So what led to this new policy, Beth?
Well, several years ago, Comic-Con had to cap sales because of the limited space at the San Diego Convention Center. The cap made the 4-day passes a hot item, and that prompted scalping of tickets. So now the nonprofit organization is requiring potential attendees, that's anyone from volunteers to press to industry professionals, to sign up and establish an ID number. The idea is to make it harder for scalpers because you need a unique email address for each ID number you get.
Yeah, it seems getting Comic-Con tickets is harder and harder every year. Does this new change seem to help or hinder?
Well, their hope is that it will actually make purchasing tickets easier and faster and more efficient because you'll already be in the system when you come online to buy them. Last year, when tickets were in such high demand, the sales, when they opened online, they were receiving as many as 250 requests per second. So that's a lot of data to process.
Absolutely. Do we have any idea, Beth, when tickets will go on sale for this?
No, they could go on sale at any time. The deadline to register for your ID number is February 28th. The convention starts early this year, July 12th through the 15th. But by registering and getting that ID number, you're supposed to get email alerts regarding ticket sales.
And I'm sure you've got your outfit ready for Comic-Con, right?
Oh, yeah.
KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando. It is Friday, and that means Joanne has analysis of the week's top stories from the journalists covering the news at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
One of the most high-profile criminal trials resulting from the war in Iraq is underway this week at Camp Pendleton. Staff Sergeant Frank Wuterich is being tried in connection with the deaths of 24 Iraqi civilians. We'll hear about opening arguments and testimony. And Mayor Jerry Sanders gave his 7th and final State of the City address this week. It was a victory speech of sorts, complete with sports analogies and classic rock. My guests are UT San Diego reporter Craig Gustafson and Tony Perry, San Diego Bureau Chief for the LA Times. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So let's start with the mayor's address. So, Craig, there was a sports analogy, there was a theme song, Hell's Bells, of course comparing himself to Trevor Hoffman, the closer. So give us the highlight reel.
Well, basically the mayor's point was that, you know, he's coming into the 9th inning of his tenure as mayor, and he wants to close strong and, you know, finish the structural budget deficit, get that solved, push through pension reform, and do a bunch of major projects that from the convention center to the library to the Charger Stadium. He's got a big slate that he wants to do before he leaves office in December.
Let's talk a little bit about those projects. Did we get any details? I mean, the Charger Stadium, we keep talking about that. I think someone told me the other day that for the last 7 or 8 years we've been talking about this in this address. So do we get any closer with this address?
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that he's repeated a lot of what he said in the past, because all of these projects have taken a long time and are at various stages. I mean, the library is under construction, and he announced in his speech that it's fully funded now. They have a donor step forward to guarantee the last $15 million that they needed to build it.
Anonymous donor.
Anonymous donor. And a Charger Stadium he plans to have a financing plan by the end of March that would potentially go to a public vote in November or early next year. And then, you know, the convention center, there's a financing plan for that hoteliers are going to have to vote on. And then Balboa Park, that's still up in the air as well, the makeover there to get cars out of the center of the park and divert them elsewhere so that it's pedestrian friendly.
How do you think Jerry will be remembered? As someone who did bold things, or someone who did it sort of slow and methodical?
I think he would, some people refer to him as caretaker. I know he doesn't like that term, but I think he'll be remembered as the right mayor at the right time. I mean, when he took office in 2005, everybody remembers the city was in a mess. It had a pension scandal, and you know, the previous mayor was named one of the worst mayors in the country and resigned. And in comes Jerry Sanders, the former police chief, the adult in the room, so to speak, you know, at City Hall, and it wasn't easy. I mean, he had to figure out how to be a politician and work with people and get some deals done with city council members to do some of the things like reducing pensions for new hires and eliminating 1,700 budgeted positions, you know, chopping hundreds of millions out of the budget through the years because the city had just for a long time hadn't made its pension payments, and so he just had to do a lot of stuff that nobody was willing to do before. And yes, I think he will, to a certain extent, be considered the steady, calm force at City Hall that the city needed at that time.
He seemed to take a whack at some people early on in the speech. He didn't name them for us. Who are these people? I'm not going to let them ruin my city.
Well, yeah, I mean, he definitely has his detractors. One of them is City Councilman Carl DeMaio, who, even though they work together and they have a ballot initiative that's going to end pensions for most new hires and give them 401ks instead, give them a 401k instead, that's going to be probably on the June ballot. And they worked to compromise on that, but they've butted heads for years on various projects, including the downtown library, which Carl did not support. And you know, also then labor unions don't think too highly of some of the things that he's done, such as, you know, making employees take a 6% compensation cut, reducing pensions for new hires. And so, I mean, there are pockets out there that don't approve of the way he went about the fixes that he did at City Hall.
I want to talk about the structural budget deficit, because one of his promises, Mayor Sanders, was to fix this. He has 1 year left. Will he do this?
Well, he got some great news today. The pension numbers came out, the annual analysis of the pension fund, and the investment returns were good. So the pension payment was scheduled to rise another $25 million this coming year. Instead, it's going to stay the same. So that freed up $25 million for the city budget. So now the deficit is right about $12 million. And if you remember, in past years, it was as high as $120 million. and so they had to do cuts. They had to brown out fire engines and cut library hours and park hours and not clean up beaches, stuff like that. So this is $12 million is great as far as the mayor is concerned. I mean, it's going to be a breeze, and if that's all he has to do, it's going to be fairly easy. And there's other stuff that could happen that might even lower that number. But I think he'll be remembered as the guy also as that fixed the city's finances, cleared the decks. And now the next mayor won't have to deal with pensions or budget issues, hopefully, and that next mayor can think big for San Diego about the future and growing and becoming a better city. Okay,
let's move on to our other big story this week. The testimony has been graphic this week as the court-martial of Staff Sergeant Frank Wuterich continues at Camp Pendleton. 24 civilians were killed in the village of Haditha back in 2005. Wuterich is the last Marine to be tried in this case. Now, Tony, you have been covering this. Bring us up to speed, first of all. How many Marines were involved in this case?
Well, initially 8 Marines were charged in the death of the 24, 4 officers for not investigating more thoroughly, and 4 enlisted for pulling the triggers. Wuterich is the last of the 8 to be tried. All the others have had the cases dismissed. When one case, one of the officers was found not guilty at court-martial, all the others had, at various stages, had them dismissed. He was the squad leader. He led a squad into a couple of Iraqi houses and gave them a shoot first, ask questions later order. And so by the prosecution's lights, he is the most culpable in the death of those 24 civilians that included 3 women and 7 children.
Give us just a quick synopsis of the opening arguments that were made by the defense and the prosecution.
Prosecution said that Frank Wuterich, who had never been in combat before, lost control of himself, and that he was agonized by the death just moments earlier of a Marine killed by a roadside bomb, and that he lost control of his emotions, and he essentially led his squad on a rampage without stopping to determine were they really combatants or non-combatants. The defense says he did things by the book, that the house where these folks were, these women and children, had been declared hostile. They thought gunfire was coming from those houses, and so they were justified in going in with their M16s blazing and throwing grenades. So that we have 2 absolutely diverse views of Frank Wuterich that day, out of control or doing it by the book.
We keep hearing that at the heart of this trial really is the issue of rules of engagement. Just tell us what that means.
Well, rules of engagement are complex. They're usually secretive. They change moment by moment, literally day by day, depending on what the threat assessment was. There was testimony today by a lieutenant who gave Wuterich the order to clear those houses, that he expected Wuterich to go in there and kill or capture the enemies that he thought were in there. That once a house is declared hostile, you are justified in using any and all force to take it out, including air power, including dropping a bomb on it and killing everyone, which was happening elsewhere in Haditha that day. And again, this happened minutes after a bomb had ripped apart a Humvee, killing a young Marine, Miguel Terrazas, and injuring 2 other Marines severely. The Marines then thought they were under attack. They thought it was part of a complex attack, and they thought gunfire was coming from these 2 houses that Wuterich stormed into with his Marines. And the trial will determine, did they have a reasonable assumption that there was gunfire from those houses? That's a disputed point. And even then, were they justified in storming in and killing everyone, or should they have taken a less dramatic mission?
And Tony, isn't there a question of an evidence and testimony that was presented suggesting that maybe Wuterich tried to cover up what he did?
Indeed, there was. Before they stormed into the houses, they had pulled 5 young Iraqi males out of a car that just happened to be next to where the Humvee had blown up. They pulled them out of the car, stood them up, and there was testimony that Wuterich killed them with his M16, and then actually stood over them and did what they call a dead check, shot them a few more times, and that later he told another Marine, if asked about that, say they were trying to run away, and that the Iraqi army, who was with the Marines that day, killed them, actually. Now, Wuterich has said that in interviews and unsworn statements, he has said that he had to kill those 5 because he thought they were running away. And actually, under the rules of engagement, someone of military age fleeing from the site of a roadside bomb that has killed or attacked a Marine unit, they can be fired on. They're considered hostile because they could be running away in hopes of detonating an explosive in the car. That's also one of the disputes. Were these 5 that Woodrich admits killing, were they running away? And also, did he tell another Marine to lie? Disputed testimony, another Marine said that the Marine who said that is a liar himself. So you pay your money and you take your chances in terms of who you really believe in this thing.
We have to end it there, Tony, but very quickly before we go, how long is this trial expected to last?
It's going to last through the early part of February because we're dealing with the issue that is still relevant. We're out of Iraq, but still relevant in Afghanistan. How do you fight a war in which the enemy hides behind women and children? Do we just have to hitch up our pants and realize women and children are going to get killed? Or should we use a less dramatic way to confront people we think are trying to kill us?
Tony Perry, Craig Gustafson, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
A huge video game festival is underway at UC San Diego. We'll tell you about the largest gaming festival on the West Coast in just a moment. The post office is putting a La Jolla landmark up for sale, and we'll show you how another landmark is getting rejuvenated. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tonight on KPBS, at 8, Washington Week, PBS's longest-running public affairs series, featuring Washington's top journalists analyzing the week's news and its effect on the lives of all Americans. Then at 8:30, it's a new way of doing news, inviting interaction and input from online readers on Need to Know. And at 9, join us for incisive documentaries covering the scope and complexity of the human experience on Frontline. That's tonight on KPBS.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, the challenges ahead to find breakthrough treatments for often deadly cancers. Plus, Shields and Brooks. That's Friday on the PBS News Hour.
The American people have named PBS
the most trusted source of news
and public affairs for the 8th year in a row.
Trust. The American people have spoken.
Thank you.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
The folks at SeaWorld San Diego are nursing an ailing endangered sea turtle back to health. It was found on Blue Beach at Camp Pendleton in Oceanside Thursday. Olive Ridley sea turtles usually breed off the coast of Mexico. This one had wounds to its shell and was dehydrated and underweight. They're considered an endangered species in the U.S.
The U.S. Postal Service is putting a La Jolla landmark up for sale. It's selling the post office on Wall Street, which has been a gathering spot for the community since 1935. The Postal Service is trying to reduce costs after a $5 billion shortfall last year. One real estate expert tells UT San Diego the property could be worth $3 million. Tomorrow, the Navy will christen the new USS Coronado at a shipyard in Alabama. This is the 3rd ship to be named for the city of Coronado. It's a littoral combat ship designed to work in coastal waters, and it will be home ported here in San Diego.
Video games are becoming more of a cultural art form, and one of the largest video game festivals in Southern California is taking place at UC San Diego right now. Admission is free. It's open to the public. The Winter Game Fest features some of the latest games, equipment, and technology, and one of the largest tournaments on the West Coast. It's also organized entirely by student volunteers.
UCSD is often jokingly referred to as University of California Socially Dead. We like to disprove that. A lot of people do like playing video games. It's a niche crowd, but no other event really brings them out. So we decided one year to give it a try, and it's wound up exploding into a more than 2,000 person event every single year. And the idea behind it really is to just have a lot of fun with it, make people understand that this is not a socially dead university. It's just you have to put on the right events.
The Winter Game Fest runs through Sunday from 10 in the morning until 8 at night. It's being held at the Price Ballroom on the UCSD campus.
Some of the original artists who painted the Chicano Park murals in the 1970s are painting there once again.
KPBS arts reporter Angela Carone says a $1.5 million grant from the federal government is allowing them to restore their murals.
Chicano Park in San Diego's Barrio Logan neighborhood is a museum in the unlikeliest of places, underneath a web of highway overpasses. During the 1970s, a group of artists looked at the park's concrete pylons, and instead of an eyesore, they saw a canvas. These same artists are back in the park today, restoring 18 of the 72 historic murals.
It is important because if we don't, they're going to disappear for one day. These were painted 30, 40 years ago, and the paints that we use then are not as strong and much more everlasting, and they're better made today.
At the time, artists really didn't have money to buy paint, so their resources were the resources from car dealerships, throwing out discarded paints we all love to use as artists because we don't know what we're going to get, but they used anything they can get their hands on.
These artists were documenting the political and social struggles of their community. They were also celebrating a rich history and culture of Mexican Americans. Portions of that history are now missing, as sections of the murals were removed because of lead in the paint.
This is the areas that were lined out in the report for the lead abatement that had lead paint, so it's been extracted already and removed. And there are certain areas, spots, you see holes here, here, and over here.
These holes will be filled in during the restoration, but contaminated paint isn't the only challenge in preserving the murals.
We have to see a lot of water damage. And plus, the cement expands, contracts through the year. There's fog, there's marine air, there's fallout from the traffic and soot. You know, there's carbons, hydrocarbons that are hitting it all the time.
Oh, I'm just laying out the foundation colors for the clouds. On top of this, I want to come in with pinks and grays and a little bit of yellow highlights so the clouds look like early morning sunrise.
Felipe Adame painted 9 of the park's murals, including this one on the ceiling of a bandstand.
The only deterioration that happened on this one was the ceiling cracked because the moisture was collecting up on the roof.
Adame was painting a mural in Mexico in the early 90s and was attacked. His injuries led to rheumatoid arthritis, and he now paints from a wheelchair.
I've converted it into a positive asset because I can wheel myself around much easier than if I were standing up. So I have a recliner already, and I can raise the handle here so I can rest my arm on the ledge here and paint. I can still see and I can still paint. Thank God for that.
With our 40 years of professional expertise, we're doing fantastic work. As you see, some of the murals are already finished with. It's amazing. They look better than they were the first time.
Artist Victor Ochoa is finally able to finish his mural titled All the Way to the Bay, which he started in 1978.
This time that we have a budget is like the first time that I've been able to buy pigments, colors that in my whole life as a mural painter, I'd never been able to afford. So we just recently bought 1,100 pounds of acrylics. We had to get a special truck to bring them over. And it's just so amazing to have these colors.
Despite the cold days, the artists are excited to be back working in the park, where many of them took part in protests that preserved this mostly Latino neighborhood.
It's kind of this reunion is not only are we refurbishing the walls, but refurbishing our own spirits, because we were so together back then. We got in different directions. Now we're coming back, and we're coming grown up and really understand life a little better. But the restoration is important in the meantime because it is our history. It is something that doesn't just belong to the barrio, but it belongs to all San Diego, to the world of arts, to American art, because this is very much an American art phenomenon, you know.
The artists will be working together on the murals through July.
In a moment, we'll have some of your thoughts about the court-martial of a U.S. Marine at Camp Pendleton. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
He was desperate for fame.
He clearly thought he was destined for greatness, to be remembered for all time.
And reckless for glory.
Custer was going to find the Indians, and Custer was going to attack the Indians. There's no worry about how many Indians there are.
Custer's last stand.
The Indians said it was like a buffalo hunt. There was more Indians there than the military had bullets.
On American Experience.
Tuesday at 8 on KPBS.
Hi, I'm Elsa Sevilla. If you find yourself hearing about a great program on KPBS after it's already aired, we have a solution. Get notified about your favorite TV programs on KPBS before they air by subscribing to the TV Highlights email alert. This daily email will feature the best programs coming up right here on KPBS TV, so you can make a date to tune in or plan to record it. It's easy to register. Just go to kpbs.org/alerts.
Welcome back to the Public Square on KPBS Evening Edition. As you heard earlier, the Haditha trial continues at Camp Pendleton this week. The final Marine is on trial in connection with the deaths of 24 Iraqi civilians. The court-martial has generated a great deal of discussion on kpbs.org. I want to share some of the comments. Dayla Rick writes, incidents like that are exactly the reason why that particular war was a terrible idea. I'd like to see an upward departure in the charges. Prosecute those who put our men and women in those situations. Oceanside says, I typically find the critics who leap to the opportunity to scrutinize the actions of the military don't seem to ever utter a word of criticism about what the insurgents are doing or a word of support for members of the military or their families. And finally, P. King Duck says, in the end, fellow military will determine this man's fate. I can only hope they base their decisions on what they truly feel happened as opposed to protecting one of their own. I'd like to hear from you. Write to me at jfarian@kpbs.org, or you can follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook.
Recapping tonight's top stories, not guilty pleas were entered today in a corruption case involving current and former Sweetwater Union High School officials. They're accused of taking bribes in exchange for construction contracts. A contractor is also charged in the case. A general from Camp Pendleton will lead the Marine Corps investigation into a controversial internet video. It appears to show Marine snipers urinating on the bodies of Taliban insurgents. And San Diego's estimated budget deficit has dropped by $20 million for next year. The reason? The city's contribution to its pension system will be much lower than expected.
You can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. We leave you with a look at the forecast.
Good night.